Hello students, in this lecture we will take servo mechanism. In the previous lecture we have taken different types of gears and also some mechanical components used in the mechatronics. So next topic is servo mechanism. So what is servo system or servo mechanism? A servo system primarily consists of three basic components. These are the basic components: control device, output sensor, and feedback system. So control device, then output sensor and feedback system. This is a feedback system. This is an automatic closed loop control system. Here, instead of controlling a device by applying the variable input signal, the device is controlled by feedback signal generated by comparing output signal and reference input signal. So this is output signal, and that signal is compared with input signal, and error signal is detected by this detector or comparator. Yeah, then by feedback signal is generated by comparing output signal and reference input signal. So here we will take servo motor in detail. Hence, the primary task of servo mechanism is to maintain the output of a system at a desired value in the presence of disturbances. So in output of a system is maintained at a desired value. So this is another block diagram of this servo mechanism. In that we can observe that there is a comparator, an amplifier, servo motor, machine, and sensors. Feedback is given to the comparator, and this feedback signal is compared with input signal, and new signal is generated, amplified, and given to the servo motor. Servo motor operates accordingly. Another definition: servo is an automatic device that uses error sensing feedback to correct the performance of mechanism. This is another good definition. Automatic device that uses error sensing feedback. So this is a error sensing feedback. Again, block diagram. N number of diagrams, you can draw any diagram, but parameters are same. Reference input, error detector, comparator, you can give any name, that is a error detector or comparator given to amplifier, servo motor, and control device is there. Next is a DC servo motor. DC servo motor consists of such type of a mechanism, that is a comparator is there, error amplifier, and motor load is given. Any load you can give, gearbox, position sensor, and given to the comparator, and control signal which is pulse width modulated given to the comparator. That is a this is a original reference signal, and this is a feedback signal. This is a feedback path. So motor, it is a normal DC motor. It is a field with its field winding separately excited. Based on the nature of excitation, it can be further classified as a field control and armature control servo motors. Load is it is connected to a mechanical shaft of a motor. It should be any industrial load or simple fan load. Gearbox, as we have taken in the previous lecture, different types of gears. It acts as a mechanical transducer to convert the output of the motor in the form of position, acceleration, or velocity based on application. And next is a position sensor. It senses the position of the rotor and feeds it to the comparator. Commonly used sensors are Hall effect sensors. Comparator, as name indicates, it compares the output of position sensor and reference point to generate the error signal and feeds to the amplifier. Name indicates itself, compare the two inputs, that is the input signal and feedback signal is compared, and if the motor runs with exact control, then no error is a zero. If the motor runs with exact control, then there is a no error, and or error is zero. The gearbox, position sensor, and comparator make the system closed loop, as previously mentioned. Amplifier, It amplifies the error from the comparator for feeding into the motor. It acts like a proportional controller where the gain is amplified for zero steady state error. Control signal and pulse width modulator. Based on the feedback signal, control gives the input to the pulse width modulator, which modulates the input of motor, and also for exact control or zero steady state error, the pulse width modulator further uses a reference waveform and comparator to generate the pulses. So this is a industrial example of the servo motor closed loop system. So this is an encoder. Potentiometer is generally used as shown in this figure. So this is a comparator. Okay, target position or input signal is given. This is a position sensor. Feedback loop is formed like this. So feedback sensor output and this target or input signal is compared and given to the servo motor. So in industrial type servo motors, the position feedback sensor is usually a high precision encoder. This is a high precision encoder. This is a position feedback sensor. While the smaller RC or hobby servos, the position sensor is usually simply potentiometer. Simply potentiometer you can also use. The actual position captured by these devices is fed back to the error detector. This error detector where it is compared to the target position. Then according to error, the controller corrects the actual position of the motor to match with the target position. Inside the hobby servo, there are four main components: DC motor, a gearbox, a potentiometer, and control circuit. So this is a gearbox, potentiometer, and this is DC motor, and this is a control circuit. The DC motor is high speed and low torque, but gearbox reduces the speed to around 60 rpm. This gearbox reduces the speed and the same time increases the torque. When the reference input signal or command signal is applied to the system, it is compared with the output reference signal of the system produced by output sensor and third signal produced by feedback system. The third signal is produced by this error detector. This third signal acts as an input signal to the control device. This third signal acts as a control signal. This input signal to the device presents as long as there is a logical difference between the reference input signal and the output signal of the system. After the device achieves its desired output, there will be no longer the logical difference between reference input signal and reference output signal of the system. Then the third signal produced by comparing these above said signal will not remain enough to operate the device further and to produce the further output of the system until the next reference input signal or command signal is applied to the system. So basic concept is remaining same. We are explaining the concept in number of ways. Okay, so next, classification of servo system. Uh, you can classify servo system as a closed loop system or open loop system. Uh, Automatic washing machine is example. Traffic signal system, home heating system are the examples of the servo system. Then next is a working principle of servo motor. A servo motor is basically a DC motor. In some special cases, it is a AC motor along with some other special purpose component that make a DC motor a servo. In a servo unit, you will find a small DC motor, a potentiometer, gear arrangement, and intelligent circuitry. The intelligent circuitry along with potentiometer make the servo to rotate according to our wishes. As we know, a small DC motor will rotate with high speed, but the torque generated by its rotation will not be enough to move even a light load. This is where the gear system inside a servo mechanism comes into the picture. So this is a gear system as shown in this figure. The gear mechanism will take high input speed of the motor, and and at the output will get an output speed which is slower than original input speed but more practical and widely applicable. So n number of diagrams for the explanation of this servo motor. Say at the initial position of servo motor shaft, the position of the potentiometer knob is such that there is no electrical signal. So position of the potentiometer is such that there is no electrical signal generated at the output port of the potentiometer. There is no electrical signal generated at the output port of the potentiometer. This output port of the potentiometer is connected with one of the input terminal of the error detector amplifier. So this is connected to the error detector amplifier. Now an electrical signal is given to the another input terminal of the error detector amplifier. This input signal or reference signal is given to the error detector, and this error detector detects or compare the signal and given that signal to the DC motor. Now difference between these two signals, one comes from potentiometer and other comes from external source, will be amplified in the error detector amplifier. This signal is amplified in error detector amplifier and feeds to the DC motor. The amplified error signal acts as the input power of a DC motor, and the motor starts rotating in the desired direction. As the motor shaft progresses, the potentiometer knob also rotates as it is coupled with motor shaft with the help of gear arrangement. As the position of potentiometer knob changes, there will be an electrical signal produced at the potentiometer port. As the position of potentiometer knob changes, there will be an electrical signal produced at the potentiometer port. As the angular position of the potentiometer knob progresses, the output or feedback signal increases. So this feedback signal increases. After the desired angular position of the motor shaft, the potentiometer knob is reaches at such a position, the electrical signal generated in the potentiometer becomes same as of the external electric signal given to the amplifier. So after desired angular position, then this signal and this signal becomes same. Okay. At this condition, there will be no output signal from amplifier. As these both the signals are same, then we will not get any signal. If there is a difference, then that difference is given to the DC motor, and according to that DC motor operates. Okay. As this condition, there will be no output signal from amplifier to the motor input, as there is no difference between external applied signal and the signal generated at the potentiometer. As the input signal to the motor is nil, as there is no any difference, both the signals are same, the input to motor is a nil. Okay, and the motor stops rotating, then this motor stops rotating. This is how simple conceptual servo motor works. Okay, so very simple mechanism of servo motor. One is a standard reference signal or input signal, a standard reference signal from potentiometer, and this is a reference input signal. This is a standard means a potentiometer output signal, and this is a reference input signal. If both these signals are compared in this comparator or error detector amplifier, and if there is a difference, then that difference is calculated given to the DC motor rotate according to your need. And if these both the signal, that is a reference output signal and reference input signal, are same, then output is a 0, and as the output is 0, that signal is given to the DC motor and DC motor stops rotating. This is how simple conceptual servo motor works. Performance specification. DC servo motors share many performance specifications that are applicable to all types of DC motors. To properly size a motor, these specifications must be matched according to load requirements of the applications. So first performance specification is a shaft speed. So what is shaft speed, which is represented as a revolution per minute? It defines the speed at which the shaft rotates, expressed in rotations per minute. Typically, the speed provided by the manufacturer is the no-load speed of the output shaft, or the speed at which the motor's output torque is 0. So this is if you want to purchase any DC servo motor, then these specifications are you have to check. Then terminal voltage. Terminal voltage refers to the design voltage of the DC motor. Essentially, the voltage determines the speed of DC motor, and speed is controlled by raising or lowering the voltage supplied to the motor. The next performance specification parameter is a torque. Torque is a rotational force generated by motor shaft. The torque required for the motor is determined by speed torque characteristics of the various loads experienced in the target application. Then starting torque. The torque required when starting the motor, which is typically higher than the continuous torque, is called as a starting torque. Then next is a continuous torque. The output torque capability of the motor under constant running condition is called as a continuous torque. Then next, after performance specifications, we will take some of the applications where this servo motor or servo mechanism is used. One of the most popular servo motor application is in a robotics. Consider a simple pick and place robot. A pick and place robot is such a robotic machine which is used to pick an object from one position and place the object at different position. So this is an animation which in which a robotic machine which is used to pick an object from one position. Here this is one position and object is placed at a other position from here to here. So this is a good or best applications of that servo motor. Next application is conveyors are used in industrial manufacturing and assembling units to pass an object from one assembly station to another. So let's consider an example of bottle filling process. So this is a bottle filling process. In the process, the bottle needs to be filled with the liquid and moved to the next stage, which is mainly the packaging stage. So as shown in this figure, bottle is kept placed here, then it moves and it is filled. Then next is again it is packed as shown in this figure. So servo motor plays very important role in this bottle packaging system. So more in industrial applications are very excellent for these servo motors. Another application of a servo motor is in robotics vehicles. So robotic vehicles uses the servo motors. So in your our Yantra lab, you can use this servo motor for different applications. So in your third year mini projects are there. So by using servo motor, you can make any project and you can apply the concept of the servo mechanism by using Arduino principle. We have to conduct one experiment on this servo mechanism. Then next, this is a other example where servo motor is used. This is animation that is an interesting design that uses one motor and four servos are used here. So as shown in this figure, observe here servo mechanism is used. So in our day-to-day life, this servo motor plays a very important role. So this is a servo mechanism. So in this lecture we have studied servo mechanism. So easy concept. So we have taken in detail. Only you have to keep in mind block diagram. That is mainly there is a standard output signal and one is a input reference signal. Compare these signals, if will get any difference, that difference is given to the motor and motor rotates. And if there is no any difference between difference between potentiometer output signal and input reference signal, then output is zero. As there is no output, that is difference is zero, then motor stops its rotation. Okay, this is a basic principle of this servo motor or servo mechanism. So make this in exam, draw and explain block diagram of a servo mechanism. Such a type of question is asked, so you have to write down in details for that. So block diagrams are very important. So you have to draw block diagram. N number of block diagram I have mentioned in the previous slides. You can draw 2 to 3 diagrams and explanation, also some performance characteristics or specifications, mention some applications. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you.